Hey everybody, it's Glenn. Yesterday I got the Masters of the Universe Classics haul to end all hauls. I received Fisto, the Sorceress, plus the subscription exclusive Shadow Weaver. All strong characters in themselves, so receiving them together was really quite the joy. But in this video I am going to open the one out of them I've been looking forward to the most, Shadow Weaver. I'll crack her open and give her a review. Let's open the white mailer box. Pulling her out. Something of note on the mailer box is it has the word Ceratus down here. I have been told that apparently Matty have to print words like that on boxes every now and then. I think it's to do with so they don't lose the copyright or trademark or whatever on certain characters. So that's interesting to see. But more importantly, here is Shadow Weaver herself. So for those not in the know, Shadow Weaver here, she is the subscription exclusive, which means she is only available to those who subscribe to the 2012 Master of the Universe Classic subscription. Let's take a closer look at Shadow Weaver in the packaging. She of course bears the Evil Horde sticker on the packaging. There she is. Has the odd air holes so the Master of the Universe Classics figures don't suffocate before you open them. Taking a look at the card back, we have various other Horde / Princess of Power figures there. And then moving down here, we have the bio of the figure. And they give her real name Beatrix, which actually just disgusts me, really. You know, Shadow Weaver to me is kind of an enigma. She's a very mysterious character. And sometimes these bios, I feel like they're just kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel to come up with a backstory for a character, whereas it's kind of sometimes much better left to the imagination. You know, Shadow Weaver, evil mistress of dark magic, says it all. I don't want to know that her real name is Beatrix and all this other junk about her. But that said, I know that some people enjoy reading these bios. But, generally I'm not one of them. So anyway, I am going to open Shadow Weaver here, which will horrify some people because I know a lot of people really like to keep rare exclusive figures like this mint on card, but I guarantee it, I will, as much as I'm loving Shadow Weaver now, when I've got my hands on the figure, literally, I am going to enjoy her even more. So here is Shadow Weaver out of package, and I bloomin' love her. Glenn Webman 69 and Shadow Weaver sitting in a tree, Kissing. This is the beginning of a new romance right here that you're bearing witness to. So they have pulled Shadow Weaver off remarkably well. I have worked on my own Shadow Weaver custom action figure a few years back, and many people have over the years, as she's one of those characters that is very popular, yet has never previously seen an incarnation in plastic. And having customized this character myself, she is quite difficult to pull off, largely because of her cloak back here and sleeves. You know, this is the kind of thing that if you are into customizing, that, you know, to have a cloaked figure like this where it attaches to either of her arms and yet still retain articulation is quite difficult to do. But they've done quite a good job, as you see there. In her around. It's quite a dynamic pose for her. I mean, the cape itself is a kind of vinyl, so there is some movement to it. Unfortunately, her sleeves and, you know, this is, I mean, I don't see how they could kind of get a solution to this, but obviously her sleeves hang, you know, with gravity, but then when you move her arms up, her sleeves kind of defy gravity in a impossible way. So taking a closer look at her, you can see the horde symbol detail on her belt, which is cool. The kind of lack of face detail concealed behind her hood, which Shadow Weaver is synonymous with. And then I love the point on her hood. Shadow Weaver's, you know, just such a cult character, and I don't know, fan-demanded character to see her in figure form. And to me, really, she was probably one of the best things about the She-Ra cartoon. You know, watching She-Ra as a kid, you know, Shadow Weaver was genuinely scary. Kind of much more so than Hordak or any of the other Horde. And part of it was the kind of... she was just very mysterious. I mean, she has these kind of like tangible hands, but then, you know, her face is so shrouded. I kind of imagine that, you know, if her hood would ever be removed, that she would just kind of dissipate into a cloud of smoke and her costume just drop to the floor. You know, much like her shadowy name suggests. So sitting the camera back down, let's go over her accessories. She does have her wand, which has a crystal ball on the end. She also comes with a book of spells, which is quite detailed. I like the detail on the book. The kind of abstract face image on the front kind of echoes Shadow Weaver's own face, with the kind of deep black set against the kind of glowing yellow eyes. There she is with her wand and spellbook, ready to curse you with some of her black magic. Beyond those accessories, she also comes with this clear plastic stand, which we'll take a look at the underneath of Shadow Weaver. She just has a hole there which you pop onto the stand. And they just pull the camera back to get the benefit of this. And there you see kind of Shadow Weaver hovers as she did in the cartoon. She kind of just floated along the floor. Take her off her stand and just, there goes her, tumbles her book. Let's remove her wand. Let's just go over her articulation. She has some up and down and side to side movement in her head. You can spin it 360, there you go. Her shoulders move up and down. They don't move 360 degrees because of how her vinyl cape is attached at the back. She has a single jointed elbow, rotates at the wrist, swivel at the waist 360 degrees. So her only point of articulation below the waist is this joint here, which moves forward as such. But beyond that, I'm really glad that they didn't articulate her anymore below the waist, because I do really like this contour that's going on. And I think any articulation lower than that, say at the knees, I think would really interrupt this beautiful contour that the figure has. So that's Shadow Weaver. So thankful to have her. I've been kind of nervously awaiting since I got my dispatch confirmation email, waiting for her to arrive. Just worried that in the hands of the postal service they might lose her, deliver her to the wrong address. I had all manner of nightmare scenarios running through my brain. So it really is a big relief to have her, finally. And not just in the Masters of the Universe Classics line, just to have a figure of her, period. Of course, she kind of was a major character in the She-Ra cartoon. Yet in terms of figures, she was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, really, because, you know, the Masters of the Universe, He-Man toy line, of course, was, you know, geared towards boys, and you know, female characters were few and far between, limited to just Teela and Evil Lynn. So she didn't appear alongside her fellow Hordemen in the He-Man line, yet the She-Ra line was totally geared towards girls. And of course, Shadow Weaver here really isn't the most girly figure. She doesn't have flowing locks that you can brush endlessly, so she never appeared in either line. Yet now we have her, and I won't kid you when I say when I opened up the packaging, it's fortunate the camera wasn't on because I was squealing like a schoolgirl. And I'm sure my squeals would have probably made your eardrums bleed. Anyway, please comment, rate and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Because in the next video, I'm going to keep the girl power flowing with a review of my sorceress figure.